I'm looking at my most recent videos, and I'm starting to notice that I'm wearing the same black shirt, and I'm liking wearing. I like that black shirt, and I also wash that black shirt. So I'm gonna probably end up doing that. I mean, once again, I do want to kind of like up my fashion a little bit, but clearly, I want what I wear to kind of mean something, and I feel like with the black shirt, it's kind of like my default setting or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm fat, so I'm a little sweaty sometimes. I just got back from taking a walk outside, and so I'm a little sweaty, and like sweat makes it look kind of like I'm glistening right now, but that's only because I'm moisturized. But like in some instances, I will start to sweat, and I kind of and sweat don't catch on black, but it sure as heck catch on gray. Um, I didn't want to talk about. I wanted to talk about this before Trump got shot at, and and I feel like now is a great time to talk about it because there's a lot more other things to be talking about that people aren't gonna like. As much as I kind of tend to talk a big game, it's annoying having like my comment section chock full of nothing but like ticked off white supremacists being like, hey, stop talking about us. You're the bad guy here. You're the bad guy for bringing attention to us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's like, no. You're the bad guys for existing. This is you guys. And so it's like, I mean, and it gets kind of aggravating because, like, the thing is, I delete comments. I delete comments because of the fact that I don't like the idea of somebody who has never seen any of my videos before popping up just to talk smack about me. Just to talk smack about me because I said something that they didn't like one time. It's like, you're not a follower of mine. You've never seen anything that I've done. I've been at this thing for like 20 years. You had plenty of chances to see anything else that I did. They know what kind of person I am. But instead, you decided to pop up on one instance where you didn't agree with me on something. And this is our first time meeting each other. This is your first time encountering me. This is my first time encountering you. And you want to make this into a terrible experience? Go away. Yeah, I have no shame about like deleting comments. I'm not trying to. It's like it's not like it's not that I'm a coward. It's just that like I'm annoyed by these people, and I'm not gonna try to give these. I'm not trying to give randoms a voice so they can like bother me with it. It's like you want to bother me. You want to bother me? Just screw off. Like nobody, nobody. I didn't ask for you, and you didn't ask for me. Um, with that being said, though, I am. With that being said, though, I do kind of want to address a really big elephant in fandom, and that is bigots in fandom. Bigots in fandom make everything political. I really like if you ever like actually pay attention to like there's a common phrase among like white supremacists and it's let's stop making everything so political. Stop making everything political. Stop making everything political. With the irony being that they're the ones who are making everything political. Like let's just think about what the word political actually means. That means something along the lines of the government. That means something along the lines of like the government, the like the president, legislation, judicial system. These are those. That's what politics actually are involved in. You know what I mean? But bigots and like back in the day, politics was actually just basically well, I mean, it was always about like it was always about like race and not marginalizing people. But like initially, political practices was along the lines of what to do with the money, because there was always going to be a copious amount of money, and people in charge were supposed to be determining what happens with the money, and what happens with the rules, what happens with money and rules at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like what happens with the money and what should we do about society, so to speak. And that was initially the whole thing about being a political discussions was about what should taxpayer dollars be spent on. And at some point in time down the line anyway, it was the slowly growing issue of discriminating against people started to like show its ugly head again. And now bigots are like, what else we should make into some kind of, what else we should make into a political matter? It's people's sexual orientations and people's skin color and people's and women's having babies, not wanting to have babies no more, and also poor people. And like that's what they turned that into a political issue, and they made that into things that now are that are now like things that should have been just like first. I was like a person's race should not be a factor into anything. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be, oh, they're black, let's marginalize them. It shouldn't be, oh, they're poor, let's put them in a bad position in life. Or it shouldn't be, oh, that's a woman, let's make their life miserable because they're a woman. It shouldn't be that. It should be, you should make somebody's life miserable because they did something that's worthy of their life being miserable. And their skin color, their gender, their sexual orientation, anything of those things should not be it. But white supremacists and bigots got together and said that that's what they should do. They turned these into like bigger issues than it should have been. Drag shows went from being something that was done in secret to something that was something that had a law against it. You know what I mean? Like it's like they actually bigots got together and they made things political. And the reason why I'm saying bigots in fandom is because of the fact that bigots in fandom, because it's like the problem is that like you're starting to see like that in you're starting to see that a lot in like fictional spaces that discuss like fictional material, because now these people are coming in and they're basically saying, you know, oh, they made the show political. And it's like, well, yeah, you guys made life political. You guys made people's lives political, and the only way that people can express themselves is through art. And I mean, not the only way, but the best way for people to express themselves is through art, to actually be able to tell the stories that you don't want them to tell. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like you guys are motivating the thing that you are so heavily against. And what's even crazier is these people don't even like the stories that they want in the beginning. They say, well, actually, we just want only white people to be in everything. Also, the hero has to be a man who is trying to save the world and get the girl. Also guns. And it's like, you want that. You get that. Like, you have that already. You have so much of that. For, like, reference material and things like that. Have those things. We literally have access to streaming. We literally have, like, access to streaming services now where you could actually have the thing. You could literally watch all the shows that you want to watch, and you still get mad because the biggest shows or the biggest franchises or whatever you want to call it are actually not incorporating demographics of people you don't like from a company that you didn't even want to be involved with in the first place. Let me just go ahead and ask this question real quick. Y'all ever heard a Republican talk about their favorite show on Daily Wire? Republicans, white supremacists, bigots, whatever you want to call yourselves or whatever you actually consider yourselves to be, what is your favorite Daily Wire show? I like doing this thing because it's like, you know, my hand just sort of, you know, especially because it's really gray outside right now. But that's what I'm saying. That's the question. It's just like, it's kind of wild. It's like y'all are making everything, and like what it's like, bro. There's this show called The New Norm, right? There's this, and it's like like I said, I've been watching these for the past few days. People just immediately dunk on it, but also I'm starting to see the lack of people who are actually supporting it. It's just like with Mr. Bertram. It's the same concept. It's basically right wingers are trying to make their own stuff and for other right wingers, and right wingers are not liking it. I can't stress this enough. Right wingers, like these people should not be in charge of anything. They don't like anything or anyone. They shouldn't be in charge of anything. They should like just be isolated from society a little bit, because that's what they want. They want to be around people that they dislike just so they can say, you guys should do what I want y'all to do. And then if you ask them, what do you want people to do? They're quick to say, we don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's kind of obnoxious. It's like, these people should not be in charge of anything. They should be like just they should be like, these are the people who should be like retired and just sit in the house all day and just not bother anybody. But yet they want to be around everybody. They turned into the stereotype of what they think gay people are, because they think that gay people are very showy and very out there, and like, you know, they think like in their brains gay people just walk outside with absolutely no clothes on and tell everybody, hey everybody, quick reminder, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's not what gay people do. That's what right wingers do all the time. Right wingers walk outside with the Trump hats and the Trump shirts and Trump 2024 liberal, suck it, you're a big baby. You know what I'm saying? They do all of these things. They make themselves a spectacle. Some of them are like ridiculous, man. It's like I remember like there was some people who be cosplaying as like Uncle Sam and stuff, which I just find that to just be hilarious and stuff like that. It's just like, or they'll cosplay as like a cowboy, or they'll cosplay as like a military person, or just the whole stolen valor thing. That's really big with right wingers because they think that cowboys and soldiers and stuff they think that white guys with guns are cool. I don't know. It's weird because they don't cosplay as wait, yeah, they do. But the fact of the matter is that like these are people who are getting into like fictional spaces and complaining about things that they didn't even want to like in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because of these people making life miserable for black people, for women, for the LGBTQ community, for the elderly, for the disabled, for all of these demographics of people that they claim to can't stand, they go out of their way to annoy, harass, hassle, and literally put legislation out against. And then when these people when these people who have no other way to express their frustration than to just do it through like artwork, all of a sudden, it's political. It's just wild to me. Like, if you got like these guys are the reasons why everything is so political. Like you're literally like, why don't you like your baby? Why don't you like your baby? This is your baby. You know? It's like they're in the way. Like white supremacists and bigots and all these people, they're in the way. They just, and it's like, they have access to their, like, the thing that annoys me the most is that they have access to their own stuff. They have access to their own stuff, and they can create their own stuff. They could like literally they could get together, write stuff, and create their own thing. They have Daily Wire. They have their own phone. They have True Social, which is their literally a social network created just for them. And all they want to do is branch outside of their own personal spaces and harass everybody because I don't know, they're bored, I guess. I make videos all the time, basically, where I ask the fake white supremacists, like, why do you want to be around people that you hate so much? And I will always be reminded of the fact that I asked this one question. I was like, if Elon Musk is so creative and he's such a genius and he's so smart, why didn't he just spend a little less money and just make his own social media site? And the response that will always hit me. This guy basically said, and I wish that I had the editing prowess to be able to like screenshot his response somewhere. I might be able to actually do that. But he basically said there won't be any. He basically gave a long version of there won't be any liberals there. It's like the spirit of debate is to debate with people who disagree with you, and it's like, which is code for we can't be around people we agree with because we're gonna get bored and we want to fight. It's like these people should not be in charge of anything. These people should not, like, I don't take fandom seriously anymore because the majority of fandom is usually like idiot right wingers who are just so frustrated with how different things are from what they used to be back then that they can't just handle that. They can't just be okay with that. It's like, look, the world is changing. Either get with it or get out. You know what I mean? It's like, today's standard is not being a white dude. Being a white dude with a gun is not going to cut it anymore. It still can. You can make that story. You can write that yourself. But being ticked off that other people don't care about it, like that's not them making any. That's not them making anything political. That's you crying about the fact that the era that you are holding so close to you is not the thing that everybody else wants. Newsflash, bro. Rock and chisel is not newsflash, bro. Rock and chisel is not cool anymore. We now have keyboards and screen monitors. I'm just saying. But yeah, man, Bigots made everything political, and they're now upset at their own creation. Like, this is your guys' fault. And there's ways to fix it, but there's ways to fix it, but like how I'm going to go about it and basically say I'm not going to take fandoms seriously anymore. I'm not going to take these fans seriously anymore. When they say that something is not good, I know that that's code for them just basically saying they didn't like it. I don't have to dislike something just because they don't. I don't have to agree with them just because they made a point that sounded cool to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Just because their point sounded cool to somebody else doesn't mean it's going to sound cool to me. You could say 3 paragraphs You can make It Sucks into 3 paragraphs worth of stuff. Like, actually, what they did here was actually not that really great, and it was what they did here was, I mean, if they did it this way, it would have been better. Blah 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 blah. It's like, I don't care. I don't care. Considering the fact that like the majority of fans are usually bigoted in some fashion, or like racist or sexist or misogynist or evil or just mean spirited or just angry because they didn't come up with the idea first, which is surprisingly a lot of them. I don't. I'm not gonna take fan reviews seriously. I don't need a bigot telling me how to think. Well, what if you and somebody both like the same thing? Then we just happen to like the same thing. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go up to them and be like, oh wow, this guy nails it every time. It's like, no, that's stupid, man. Like, think for yourself. But yeah, though, bigots made everything political. They ruined everything. Like, bro, like, you know what I find really crazy? Like, where are all the right wing comics? Where are all the, like, I hate it when right wingers basically say, actually, every superhero is right wing because we're gonna convince it. It's like, bro, Superman is literally an algorithm for immigration. Batman is literally like is like a kind of an allegory, or rather a message for like childhood trauma and how to utilize it to be better, how to utilize it to better yourself. Not the best example, but I mean, hey, I mean, shoot, what else? I mean, like, if we really, like, every story can actually, I mean, Cyborg is, is a story about, like, finding your own identity. Like, if people need to start thinking deeper about this stuff, then, oh wow, they fight. They fight and somebody loses and me like because they fight, and it's like, no, I don't, like, wow. Also, where's white guy with gun? I don't understand. They're making it political. Blah, 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 blah. Think outside the box. Think for yourself. Be better. Stop thinking that, because you don't like something, it's like bad or there's an agenda or something. Like, I don't believe that. Like, I'm having a hard time believing agendas exist, because the only agenda I know of that actually succeeded is the white supremacist one, the Christianity one, and the monogamy one. Those are the only 3 agendas I know that actually succeeded. Meanwhile, all the other agendas, it's like they're trying to turn everybody gay and black and women. What? Fun fact: if you believe that there is a gay agenda that's turning people gay, you think that you are gonna fall for that agenda. Hate to be the one to tell you. All right, I don't know where I was going with this. I was just ranting. I don't like to do this. I should have done this a little bit better, but I'm gonna go ahead and go take a nap. Y'all be easy. Love and peace.